Welcome back to the Green Egg Girl podcast. So I got very reliably informed on X today that me having the desire to make my husband a sandwich is infantilizing him. Now, mind you, this source was so reliable. It's some Anon woman who's kind of witchy and likes guys with eyeliner. Okay. Maybe not the most reliable source. So here's the thing. A, it's not infantilizing to make your husband a sandwich. It's actually a very kind thing to do. Feeding your husband, taking care of your husband, because let's be real, he takes better care of you than you probably ever will of him. All right. My husband works all day and owns his own business. So he works all morning, all evening, and then does his matrix job all afternoon. Funny old world, isn't it? Funny how he is just striving to absolutely change our entire lives, our whole situation, bring more income into this household. And he does things like fix our driveway with a skid steer when it completely washes out. I also live in a house that's 100% wood heated. Guess who cuts down the trees, cuts them up, splits them? Yeah, that would be my husband. Can I tell you, it's not infantilizing that he does things like that. It's actually greatly appreciated. I appreciate the things that my husband does. So the very least that I can do is make the man a sandwich, bring him his coffee in the morning while he's working, and do the small things because I greatly appreciate the work that he does for me and for our household. And I'm not infantilizing him by doing these things. He's 100% capable of doing all of these things himself. I simply love him and respect him, and I respect his time. So instead of being a bitch and telling him to make his own damn sandwich, I go out of my way to ask him if he needs anything. Water, coffee, a beer. I ask him these things because he sits and he works, and what difference does it make to me? If I'm coming out to grab a drink out of the fridge, why wouldn't I ask my husband if he needs something and grab it for him? How on earth can you look at that as infantilizing? Husbands out there, if your wife looks at making a sandwich for you as infantilizing you, I am very sorry that you're so underappreciated. Please be aware that my husband is never underappreciated, and I will always go as far out of my way to make him a sandwich, bring him a drink, and take care of him to the very best of my feminine ability because he does the things I don't want to do. But he does the things I physically can't do. I physically can't run a skid steer to fix a driveway. That is 100% out of my repertoire. There are not many things that I can do that my husband can't, but there's a ton of things that my husband can do that I cannot, that provide for this household, that keep this household moving, that make it so I can drive my car up and down the driveway. The car, by the way, that my husband always makes sure is taken care of. So 100% of the time, I will make my husband the sandwich. I will pour his coffee and I will get him a drink. Not because he's incapable, not because he's a child, but because I love him and I respect him and I respect everything that he bends over backwards to do for me and our household. So, women, if your perspective is I'm not making him a sandwich because that means he's an infant that can't do it himself, you are weak, pathetic, and disrespectful to your husband. I promise you that.